Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Friendlies 7 International with me, Dimitri, and my co-host, Marcial. Um, we're here to chat about Olympiacos, the friendlies that we've had recently. Preseason's progressing. We're getting closer to the start of the season. But before we do that, and I welcome Marcial to say a few words, just a quick shout to you guys to please like and subscribe, to support us in any way you can. Follow on social media. We hit 17K on Instagram, which is insane. 17,000 people follow us on Instagram, but we're active on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Threads, everything that you can think of, TikTok, YouTube, obviously. So please like, subscribe, follow, comment. It's free. It doesn't cost a thing. And it really helps us with the algorithm. And on top of that, if you could, we'd really, really, really appreciate your support on Patreon. We have packages from as little as $1 where you can join our WhatsApp group chat, which is absolutely popping at all times. And you can get all the... You can be first to all the Olympiacos news, really. It's like a hub for all things Olympiacos before it even manages to make it onto the page or onto the show. So we appreciate all your support and everything we get, we put back into Friendlies 7 International. So thank you very much. And with that done, let me introduce Marcial. Welcome, my friend. Good evening. How are you?
Well, I'm doing fine, doing very fine because the summer preparation until then has been close to perfection, I would say. We barely have injured players. New players have signed. Only Costulas into the group of important player has left. So yeah, every I don't know the word in English. Every light is green. I would say uh, every signal is green, and just hope it stays like that until the beginning of the season. Oh, we have a third co-host tonight.
Yeah, I've got. This is Zeus. I don't think he's ever made his debut. I've been dog sitting a lot lately, so he's been a Velcro dog. He's been stuck to me. So this is
Yeah,
Zeus. Say hi, Zeus. Say hi to everyone. He's not red and white, unfortunately. He's black and white. He's Park's colors, but Dalmatians only come in black and white or liver, but liver are very, very rare. So uh, yes, okay. We have to do a show now. You can calm down. You can sit here. Um, I'm with you, Marcial. I feel the same regarding the summer, regarding Olympiacos, regarding the preparations. Things seem to be healthy, is how I describe it. Everything seems to be um, positive and how it should be for a big club, for a club that has aspirations, for a club that's well run and organized. And that's something I really like to see because it hasn't always been the case. But it appears like as the seasons go on, as the years progress, we seem to be becoming more organized and big in our form of thinking. And I'm excited for the season to start. What, we've got 3 weeks today, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
the
it. Yeah,
23rd, 24th. We don't know yet what date. Hopefully it's the 24th so I can go watch the game. If it's the 23rd, I won't be able to make it. But yeah, so 3 weeks and yeah, things are looking up and some big friendlies coming up. Some big friendlies coming up with some very big Champions League big name teams. But we'll touch up on that in a second. Let's kick things off talking about the recent friendlies that we had. I mean, today was Breda. No, it was De Haag. Sorry, getting confused with all my Dutch teams. 3-2 and a win, 3-2. And yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, was Herenveen, another Dutch team, which was 1-1. Martial, you watched the games. I'm only on the highlights, unfortunately, because I was working. So fill me in and fill us in. What was your opinion? How did you see the team?
well, I would say both games were interesting in terms of what we produced on the pitch, like the creation part. We had situation on both games. I would the today's games was the best for me because I'm not saying that is the starting lineup Mendilibar will use, but when you have El Kaabi on the pitch, it's always easier because the first two goals he scored were uh, it's like easy goal for the guy. It's like when he gets a decent pass on the area, it just converts. And I really appreciated today the link he had with Cabela because when Cabela signed or was about to sign at the end of last season, the Greek press was saying like we are getting a new Valbuena for the team, and it was visible today that the guy has quality. He has tremendous quality. Is gonna be very helpful for the team, either with passes, crosses, but also we've seen the one and one he had with Costinha on the right side. Uh, the link he has with Costinha is already really interesting. And the first half today was very good. Like the pressing was perfect. We were winning some balls back very quickly. We had plenty of situations. Second half was a little bit more sloppy or disappointing, if I could say, because I guess the team is getting tired. Uh, I don't know exactly the number of trainings we've had in the preseason, but I guess it's like two per day. When you have two per day for 1 week, 2 weeks, with friendlies here and there, player are getting tired for sure. So they need to digest that. And the two goals we've had today on the right side, for me, has to do more with tiredness and a little bit lack of focus. But apart of that, it was a very good game, solid game. Uh, and it just confirmed that the club is acting uh, good. And you said it on the beginning. The thing that I enjoy the most is that we come from a years with players being cut, like players not making it to the preseason, stay get ready to train alone to find new clubs. And I think Mendilibar wanted to erase that. He wanted to have, even if Vezo is not going to stay, but the fact the guy is here at the summer preparation, same for Velde, even Masuras, I don't know, all those players that could leave, you never know what can happen. What if, I don't know, what if you have two big injuries in the defense? You need someone to be ready and activated, even if it's just for a week. Maybe we will need Vezo for one game and then he moves to somewhere else and we sign someone. But the fact that everyone is involved is the major improvement for the club for me.
No, I agree. I've always been in the belief of make use of everyone that you've got available, see what happens, because you never know. Like people that were saying, "Oh, Bentancur will be gone." Like, what's even the point? I'll be like, no, give him a chance. Let's see what happens in preseason. Let's give it a tiny bit of time and then see. I'm not saying that, yeah, he's Messi or whatever, but I fully agree with you. It's important to uh to keep everyone available if we can, and then see how it goes. Don't blacklist anyone straight away just because they might be leaving the club. And I really like what you said about Cabela and his link up play with Costinha today. That's very positive to hear because, as everyone knows, my obsession is Rodinei, and I think he runs that right wing brilliantly, both as a right back and even as a right wing and even on his own. But that man needs a rest, right? Like he played the last two seasons, he's been playing non-stop. Yes, last year he got a bit of a rest when Costinha came, but again, instead of getting a rest, he was playing right wing with Costinha behind him. So it's really good to hear that actually Rodinei might not be needed sometimes because you've got those alternatives that are going to work well. And I love how you compared Cabela with Valbuena because I actually saw a comment on social media somewhere, one of the Olympiacos pages, and someone was saying, we had El Arabi and Valbuena, now we've got El Kaabi and Kabela. And it's like, yep, pretty much like the names rhyme, the countries, everything. It just makes sense. So no, I'm really happy with that. Something from today that I wanted to ask you about is it was Strefeta's first appearance. I mean, we only signed him 3 days ago, 4 days ago. He's had 2-3 training sessions. What was your opinion? I know it's very, very early on. Very early on. And I'm the complete opposite of a fan that will judge someone that early on. But I'm just curious.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't a very good game from Strefezza because when you pay 8 million for a player, even 3 days after, you still unconsciously expect the guy to deliver some like instant magic. You know what I mean? Like a dribble, a goal, a shot. I don't know. And he barely delivered anything. But I think it's normal because the guy has no chemistry with other players. He's discovering the Mendelebar way of playing style. And the positive thing I will say is that he was fighting for every ball. Like it wasn't giving Valde's vibes when Valde signed at the beginning. We all know that Valde was good during the preseason last summer, but he wasn't defending every time he was losing the ball. Like straight when he lost the ball, he wasn't running or pressing to get the ball back. And Strefezza will need no time to adapt on that because he has a high football IQ, I would say, and it's visible because the guy fits the team. I'm not gonna say it was quite like it was there since 1 month or two, but tactically he wasn't lost at all. He knew when to press, and the press was kind of coordinate with other teammates. That's why the first half was very promising for me because the quality this team has is just tremendous. We had a friendly yesterday starting like almost 11 other players, and look at the team we have today. You talked about Costinha, and it's difficult to understand and accept, even if Rodinei is untouchable, that a guy like Costinha for us is almost a backup, not a backup, half of a backup. But the guy has so many quality, and Strefezza, I'm pretty confident that he's gonna be. I can't predict if he's gonna score a lot, but every game he will play, I'm sure that tactically is gonna be helpful for the team. It's I think it's what we were looking for a winger. I know the fan want a magical winger, gifted winger. I don't know, but Strefezza is gonna be useful. You can smell it, even if the first one wasn't really impressive. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But isn't that? I mean, surely that's what you want. You touched upon it. You paid £8 million. He's 28 years old. He's been signed from a team that's been playing in the Serie A, and he had a lot of games for them. The writing's there, right? The guy should perform. He's not someone who's come for their retirement. He's not someone who's come from somewhere that's undeveloped that no one knows about. He's not been at a team where he hasn't been playing. He ticks all the boxes of someone who should deliver and should perform. So fingers crossed that he ends up being like that and not like Pep Biel, who people were excited about and was disappointing. But I'm personally excited. I think Strefezza is going to offer a lot. I'm excited to see what we've got. I think the winger position is somewhere where we were seriously lacking. So I'm excited to see what happens with him now that we've signed him. Another one that I wanted to talk about player-wise is this comment by Nicolas Simichis. You think the young guns will make it on the team? One particular young gun I wanted to chat about is Pnevmonidis, because despite not having watched the games, just throughout the preseason, the narrative of what I've been hearing and the stats of what I've seen, Pnevmonidis has been a revelation. How do you feel about that? What did you think with yesterday's game with Hedenfen? I know that it was a draw, but how do you feel about Pnevmonidis? Is he going to make it on the team? Is he going to be another Mouzakitis and Kostoulas that were, the big stars last year that came from the youth team and impressed?
I don't know what to say at first, but the thing that amazes me with Pnevmonidis is that when you look at what we consider to be youngsters in nowadays football, you just look at the guy physically, and it's like, I think Pnevmonidis is 20 already. I don't recall exactly the age he has.
I think he's 18, no? I'll
Oh,
check it. I'll check it while you chat. I'll check it.
No, he's 18. He's 18. You're right. But the fact that you look at 18 years old player, like physically the guy is ready already to be a professional player for Olympiacos, very demanding team. And I have zero doubt over the fact that this guy is going to play this season. I'm not sure he's going to start the season being a starter, but it's visible he's going to fit what Mendilibar wants because he's smart and he has the physics that matches the requirements of the team, of the modern game, and of Mendilibar. And I'm not gonna maybe it reminds me a little bit of Solis when he popped at PAOK, because when you was looking at Solis back then, you knew this guy was going to be a good player because physically he was ready since he was like, I don't know, 16, 17. And maybe a guy like Papacanelos, for example, has probably more talent on paper than Pnevmonidis, for example, but is lacking what comes around the talent, if that makes sense. Pnevmonidis is able to dribble, but he has also the body to resist against defenders. And I think it matters a lot because we know that wingers in modern football, you need a little bit more than dribbling and running. You need to resist, you need to defend, you need to press. And when you see Pnevmonidis pressing, you know this guy is gonna be useful.
No, that's really good. I agree about his body type, his stature. I hadn't thought about Dolis when you said it, but the minute you said it, I just went, shit, you're right. Like once you said it, I'm like, now I see it. They look a bit similar. And it hadn't crossed my mind at all. Okay, another player that I want to talk about. I know we talk about him all the bloody time. He's what can we say about him? But El Kaabi hat trick today. The man, I mean, he's what, 33 now? 34, 33? He had the breakout season 2 seasons ago. Last year, again, he was great. This year, I mean, every friendly that he's played in, he scored, right? I think.
If I've said that to myself, yeah. When I was looking the game, I've said that when you get used to having El Kaabi in your team, you don't want it to end ever. Like it's gonna be difficult one day starting a season without a striker like that. We can still find better than El Kaabi because you always need to chase for better. But man, the guy is so good. Not only because he scores, but the runs he has for defenses. Like today, it was a second division Dutch team, so it's not really that relevant. But you see that the high quality of El Kaabi is so visible because defender were almost lost every time. Either on crosses, long balls, balls into the space. I don't man, the guy has it all, and with more quality around, with Cabela, with Yazici, Chiquinho wasn't playing. You have Pnevmonidis coming, Strefezza, that is surrounded by quality, and I'm sure
I mean,
that
don't
is
forget, obviously, our best winger, Jelson Martins.
yeah, exactly. No, yeah,
No,
it's
do you think, obviously, everything that we've seen so far of El Kaabi, right? He's been brilliant. He's been better than we expected. You said something though. You said we should always be aiming to try and find better. Are you happy with him leading the line going into a Champions League season and the new format of the Champions League with the league phase?
yes, because if we do have to improve in Champions League, it has to be with Al Kaabi, because the most we're gonna use something we master, either in terms of player or tactics or chemistry, it has to come from what Mendelebar has created. And I'm 100% sure we could not be better in Champions League with a better striker on paper right now than El Kaabi, if that makes sense. If we are due to win games in Champions League next season, it's gonna be because El Kaabi is there to finish situations. And he was there uh, when we started the season in Europa League. Then we went to Conference League, we won it. Then we went to Europa League. So there is no indication the guy is gonna be useless or goalless in Champions League. It's gonna be more difficult, of course, because you're gonna play against better teams. But he also, as every player, he has the anger to test himself in Champions League, and I think it's gonna be the best uh, recipe for success this season. Every player in the squad, for most of them, want to test himself in the Champions League, and I think it might work out.
Do you think at all that if he performs well this season in the Champions League, he'd leave next season for another team?
I think it's gonna.
Because the reason
I,
why I ask, he's not a young talent. He's not like Kostulas or Musakitis or Heze, where even if we're not in the Champions League, they're going to get a big money move, right? El
no,
Kabi
yeah,
is at that age where theoretically you're at the tail end, right? You've hit your peak. He clearly hadn't hit his peak until he found Olympiacos. But at the age of 22, people are saying he's 22, not 20, not he's 32, not 33, like I said. He's still in his early 30s, but he's not exactly a young boy. Do we think next season, if he has a really good season, he'd go, or because of his age, no, you know, Champions League, Italian, Spanish, English team is going to come calling?
well, it's a big surprise for me because I think that after Conference League, we were very lucky not to lose the guy. Uh, I'm still trying to understand because the football is evolving. So uh, a lot of club would rather sign, uh, I don't know, a talent from random league for 5-6 million fee if the guy is under 23 and taking the risk of I don't know, develop the guy even if he can flop later than paying high wage to El Kabi to have a striker for 2 years. And it, for strikers like that, it's it has to be frustrating because when El Kabi will have the season next season, I'm pretty sure the option for him on the market will be uh, Saudi, Qatar, or staying with us. Like, he's not gonna have any good offer with a good wage, a good club, and a good league. Because
That's
I
interesting.
mean, can you name me one decent club that targeted El Kabi that is basically the best striker outside the big striker world?
I agree with you. I completely agree with you. There's is it ageism? I don't know if it's ageism or if the teams would rather develop the players, buy them young and develop them and make them exactly how they want, rather than get someone who they know exactly what they're getting and they basically have them for a couple of years and that's it. That's what you're getting. It's not changing. This is what it is. Um, and yeah, I agree with you. I'd be very surprised if he leaves for another high quality team in Europe next season. No matter how well he does in the Champions League, no matter how many goals he gets, no matter how well Olympiacos does in general, I'd be very surprised. So I agree. I agree with you. And hopefully, as Gio says here, with El Kaabi, we would win the Europa League. Now we will lift the Champions League. Unfortunately, we didn't win the Europa League last year. I still think it was unfortunate that we drew against Bodo in that stage of the competition in the wintertime. But unfortunately, we didn't win the Europa League. We won the Conference League with El Kaabi, though, so it would be quite a shock if we won the Champions League with El Kaabi. I think pretty much all of the Olympiacos fans would die happy literally the very next day. So that would be quite something. Slightly away from the performance and the players, we did have something else as well this week that I think people have sort of forgotten about a little bit, just because it was a few days ago. But we had the launch of the first kit. What are your opinions on it? I mean, before we talk about the kit, the video was incredible. I was like, this is not a Greek team doing a video like this. That looks like, like a Real Madrid, a Man United, a Liverpool, Barcelona. It looks like that kind of, the way they launched it. Like, I was very pleasantly surprised. So yeah, what do you think of the kit?
Honestly, I don't really have high expectation for the kids, because it always look better when the player are wearing the kit on the pitch, because you get to see it with shorts, with the socks, and it's very different. Because it's surprising, because I do like when the club introduces a jersey with a touch of, I don't know, marketing, featuring random people, fans, elderly people, kids. I don't know, but when you have the jersey on a regular guy, let's say a citizen of Greece that doesn't play football, you put the jersey on the guy, and it looks nice, but it's always jinxing, because you don't know how it looks like on the pitch. And I think for me the the three jerseys we're gonna have this season are three of them quite nice. I do like the home jersey, because yes, it does look like the one we had last season. But when you look at Olympiacos history, the home jersey is basically not always the same, but very similar from one year to another. I would say it's the brand of big clubs, because when you look at, I don't know, Real Madrid, home jersey of Real Madrid is basically always the same. You don't have a lot of differences. And I think Olympiacos belongs to that category. It's like Fenerbahce, it's like Galatasaray. You have like slight differences, but the home jersey always the same. The only one I find a little bit less better would be the one with the paint mark on
The
it.
second one.
Yeah, but
The
also
away
the
kit.
fact that it's majorly white is okay with me. I think it's gonna be a decent jersey. It all depends about the performances of the team. If we do something big this season, like one Champions League win with that jersey, it's gonna be automatically a good jersey for me.
I like the jersey. I really like the home jersey. It goes for me. It goes home jersey, away jersey, third jersey. That's how it goes. Um, I like it, man. I like Adidas. Adidas knows how to do good jerseys, in my opinion. Um, I like the simple red and white. It looks a little bit retro. I like the red on the side that it's got. Like, I've got it here in front of me, and I like the lines here. I like the fact that it isn't buttoned. I don't like buttons. That was something I didn't like with Centenary jersey, for example. So overall, I'm happy with it. And as you said, if people remember jerseys, not just for how it looks, but also for what the team achieved that season. So if we achieve something great, then that's perfect. That's exactly what you want. Like, that jersey is going to be remembered forever. So in a way, that's all that matters. You said a win in the Champions League. I'd hope a little bit more than just a win. I'd hope we have a few wins. Hopefully, qualify for at least the next round. But we'll see how it goes. Again, before we start going to some of the comments, because people have started asking about stuff that we've already touched upon. So before we start rewinding and going back to the stuff that we've already talked about, just to fill people in, I just wanted to say one more thing that's happened this week that we haven't touched upon. Again, not necessarily to do with the team and the players, but the Olympiacos documentary that now has launched 4 or 5 days ago. It's now available in even more countries. I'm trying to see where it's available, but I don't have it in front of me here. But when I watched it, it was only available in Greece and England. But now it's available in quite a few places. Wait, do I have it here? Yes, now it's available apart from Greece and Cyprus. Obviously, the UK is where it was launched a few weeks ago. The UK got it early. It's now available in the US, in Canada, in Ireland, in Australia, and New Zealand. So, which means you might not have had the chance to see it yet, have you?
I'm gonna try to find a way to either download it, or I don't know. I need to find a way to see it.
It's quite something. I really enjoyed it. It's basically the story of us winning the Conference League and the UEFA Youth League in the same season, and you have them like parallel running across each other. It's just one weird thing. You have players like not players, like legends and people from the club, and they're all speaking different languages, right? But you have Darko Kovacevic, instead of speaking in Serbian, he's speaking in Spanish. Christian Karembeu, instead of speaking in French, is speaking in English. Yet we have other people speaking in French. We have Marinakis and Karapapas speaking in Greek, in English, but we have other Greek people speaking in Greek. It's like we have Marina, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the translator, I think she's speaking in Greek. She's not speaking in English. Which was another one that threw me. So the language thing really threw me, because I'm there like, why is it not either all the Greek people in Greek and everyone else in English, or everyone in English, or everyone in their own languages? It's just it was so weird when I heard Karembeu speak in English, but other people speak in French, and Kovacevic in Spanish. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Anyways, that was just the most insignificant thing ever, but it's something that ever since I watched the documentary a couple of weeks ago, it's always been on my mind. I'm always like, why? What the hell is this about? Just a quick reminder to please like and subscribe, guys. We've been here chatting with you guys for over half an hour now. Quite a few of you have joined us and are part with us and are being with us as company tonight. Please like, subscribe, and follow if you can. A couple of things here that I wanted to chat about in the comment section that's come up before we start answering some of the questions that we've already talked about. Stefanos brought up the fact that the first home game is without fans, the Asteras game. Now, did you know this?
Yeah. I've read it already. Yeah,
that's ruined my plan.
I don't recall the reason of it.
Well, Stefanos is saying because of the punishment for the pyro. I'm guessing the pyro that we had in the cup final against Offi. But that's just, that's infuriating. That's the one day I'm in Athens. I come back from a wedding in Peloponneso on that Sunday, and I was going to come back for the game, and then I fly back to London on the Monday. Instead of that, now I'm going to go to the basketball and watch Greece against France, because that's the day we've got the last friendly before the European Championships. Greece against France is going to be a good game. But I was hoping I'd get to go to Karaiskaki, man. I haven't been in years. I haven't been in like 9 years to Karaiskaki. You've probably been more recently than me. The last time I went was 2015, actually, 10 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I haven't been to Karaiskaki in a decade. I've been seeing Olympiacos all over the world, but not at Karaiskaki. That's crazy.
You can still get a press pass up, probably. You still have press for games like that.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not in Greece during the season. That's the problem. Like, I went to watch them in the Conference League final in Greece, but not at Karaiskaki. Like, crazy. It is what it is. Right. Another comment that came at the start that I didn't get to address, sorry, from Nicolas here. I love the Greek show. Hope it's back Wednesday. Yes, sorry, guys. We weren't available last Wednesday. I was out due to work commitments. Sometimes I have to work late shifts. That happens in my industry. Hopefully, we're back this Wednesday. But yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, 307 International is obviously the majority of our content is in English. We try to cater to an English-speaking audience, well, not to an English-speaking audience, but an audience that doesn't necessarily speak Greek, because you don't have to be a Greek speaker to be an Olympiacos fan. Olympiacos is a global club around the world. We have fans that support Olympiacos, that are part of the Greek diaspora, that don't speak English, or we have fans that aren't even Greek. Martial isn't Greek; he's French. We have fans. Yeah. We have fans from across the globe. We have fans in Peru. Right? That's the one that shocks me. We have fans in Peru. That's literally like pretty much the ends of the earth. Australia, I can understand. There's a lot of Greeks there, but Peru. So, so primarily our content's in English, but we also every Wednesday we have a show in Greek called Thrilos Padou, which people have really seemed to have taken a liking to. We've done 7-8 episodes now. It's been a couple of months, and it's on Wednesdays at 9:30 p.m. Central European time, 10:30 p.m. Greek time. So yeah, join in if you guys are keen. Hopefully we're back this Wednesday if work permits and other stuff allows us to. Right.
The saddest thing is that Lampros holds a Greek passport and I don't. I think I would probably deserve his passport more than he does, in my opinion.
That's a bold statement. I think we need to clip this up, post this all over socials, basically atting Labro in just no caption, just at Labro. See how he reacts. There's a comment here from Gio. I want to hear Martial speaking Greek. Fredaki Malaka.
It wouldn't be good for me if I try to speak Greek, but man, it's if I don't know, like I truly love to attack Lambros like that, especially when he's not here because he can't respond.
Yeah, exactly. But I think you'd give Rodinei a run for his money. Give it a bit of effort, like a couple of years. If you lived in Greece, I reckon you could be as good as Castillo.
Yeah, no, but
like Castillo was the best non-Greek or Serbian, Bulgarian sort of person I've ever heard speaking Greek. Because, like Djordjevic spoke Greek, and a lot of Serbs that have lived in Greece for a very long time speak Greek. But I think Castillo is really good.
It's a good example you're using with Rodinei, because I always wonder how, and you are in a club like Olympiacos, and the minimum for me is that to be able to do interviews after games in Greek after 1 year of presence in the club, in my opinion. For me, for regular people that lives abroad, you don't have any Greek teacher available physically in the city if you don't live in a big city, or if you find someone from the diaspora. And you have like foreign players at the club that have the time and resources to learn it with direct people and train like in the country. And it's always surprising that they don't take advantage of it. Like, I remember Kuipers doing an interview in Greek, because when he doesn't play for 1 year with Ergotelis because he wanted to. If you remember, the guy was about to sign with AEK. Then he said, "No, I'm going to Olympiacos," and he stayed 1 year without playing with Ergotelis, and then he learned Greek on his free time. And we would need more foreigners learning Greek, like
I agree.
Vierinia, like I don't know, like
Castillo,
yeah, Castillo, like
Georgievich.
Zeka. We need a Zeka from Olympiacos. You need someone like that, that
Yeah.
learns the
I'm
language.
surprised. I'm surprised players like Christian Carabin never learned Greek, considering how long he's been in Greece. Obviously, his wife, etc. Like players like that, or off the top of my head, I'm trying to think who's been with Olympiacos for a very long time, and really should have been speaking Greek. I mean, I'm surprised El Arabi didn't speak Greek.
No, who is the main example for me is Jabor,
Yeah, Rafik Zibur. Yeah,
because it's
Panionios,
something.
Aik.
Yeah, but the fact that it lives in Greece, it speaks Greek, and when you consider from where those players comes from, like they don't, how I can say that, they don't have like academic degrees to learn languages, but if you want to learn Greek, man, we know that it's difficult, but when you live in Greece daily, and Karamba is the best example. He has been the player there. He occupies a role in which you have to talk to players, to talk to youngsters, to parents, agents. I don't know. You should learn Greek. It should be mandatory almost.
I agree. We've gone on a slight tangent now about learning Greek and how important it is. Let's circle back slightly to the football. Right, we've got 3 weeks until excuse me, until the season starts. We've got how many more friendlies do we have? 3 friendlies, all in Italy coming up. I know we've got Inter, we've got Napoli, and wait, let me get the schedule here in front of me. Actually, no, we've got 4 friendlies. We've got Altaun on Friday, we've got Union Berlin on Saturday, and then we've got Napoli on the 14th, and then Inter on the 16th. Where is the Altaun game? In the Netherlands. Okay. And I'm guessing the Union Berlin game's also in the Netherlands.
Yeah. No, in Germany, maybe.
Alte Foreste, where's that? Yeah, Berlin. Yeah, it's in Germany. Oh, yeah, that's great for any Olympiacos fans based in Germany. But yeah, what would you like to see in the next 4 games before the season starts to be, what are you hoping we get in the next 4 games? I mean, obviously we've got 2 theoretically easier games and then 2 huge games. Like Napoli and Inter are huge clubs with unbelievable pedigree. Napoli Serie A champions and just unbelievable last season. Inter went pretty much all the way with them. Champions League finalists. The pedigree that they have, the players that they both have. I mean, Napoli just signed Kevin De Bruyne. It's going to be Kevin De Bruyne against Mouzakitis in midfield. Mouzakitis is going to show him how to play football. I'm excited for this. But yeah, what are you looking forward to? What are you hoping we get out of this?
I would say the first thing I'm expecting is no one getting injured because uh, if you do remember last season we had Danny Garcia, for example, losing pretty much whole the preseason. Um,
Yeah,
I
Yazici getting injured in one day.
yeah, and we basically needed so long to get to be ready when the season started. So yeah, my first thing I'm expecting is no injuries. Also, I'm expecting during the two easier games to have Masuras to score because the guy just needs to score. Uh, I don't think it's gonna stay, but if it does stay, because I truly appreciate. Nowadays, I appreciate more the guy than the player. But that being said, he needs to score. He needs to have a very solid game to have some confidence back because we might need it. And those two easier games for me are made for players like Velde, Betancourt, Masuras. All of them would need to score uh, either to show that they can move somewhere else or to be useful if they stay. Because uh, every coach you had in your life, either it's kindergarten, I don't know, every sport you played, every single coach said that uh, you need the whole squad to be there to win. Like you don't win with 11 players, you win with more. And friendlies for me have only two big things to give to a team. It's fitness and confidence.
Yeah.
80% of the squad, if not more, has both already. But some players, even the Retros, I'm expecting Retros, for example, to have a solid defensive game, maybe against Inter or Napoli, strong teams. I need defenders to be tested against Inter and Napoli. I don't even want or need the team to win against Inter and Napoli, but if Biancon, Retsos, Pirola, the fullbacks, all of them can have a full defensive game, it's gonna be good. Because if you today we won the game 3-2, and I don't think it was more valuable than giving El Kaabi the chance to score and some players to have minutes. But when you play bigger teams, you want to see a structure, and for me, it has to be the defensive structure. And also very important, maybe starting Pachalakis on the two artists game because Cholakis not gonna play the first Champions League game.
Why is Solakis not? Oh, the red card
Yeah,
against Bodo. True.
exactly.
Completely forgot about that. I agree with everything you've just said. However, I want to touch a little bit more on what you started to say towards the end about the bigger games, because I agree, especially the smaller games in preseason, that the less difficult opposition is uh, confidence and fitness. Completely agree. However, with the games against Napoli and against Inter, I think we need to see not tactics, but we need to see a game plan because it's a dress rehearsal for the Champions League, right? We need to see how are we going to try and play against teams that are theoretically much better than we are, and what are we going to do to make sure we don't get dicked 5-0 and actually give them a game and go out there and be with a fighting chance, right? Because the last thing you want in the Champions League is to get drawn against huge teams and have what Dinamo Zagreb had last year. You want to go there, you want to give a fighting chance. Even if you lose, you want to be competitive, right? That's the most important thing with the Champions League. You can't be a boxing bag. So I think it's very important for the team to take that Napoli and Inter game very, very seriously and sort of treat it like dress rehearsals and see what works well for us, what doesn't. I mean, will we be able to play that high pressing game that Mendilibar likes so much against teams of that caliber? We haven't faced teams of that caliber since Mendilibar has come in. What's the best team we've played against since Mendilibar took over? In the Conference League, it was Villa 2 years
Mhm.
ago, but Napoli and Inter are better teams than Villa, and Villa's head was in the champion, like qualification for the Champions League. And last season, what was the best team we faced? Did we play Porto last year?
Yeah, we played Lyon,
Lyon and
Porto.
Porto.
Yeah,
Yeah. Did we beat Porto last year? Or am I going crazy?
yeah.
We beat them
1-0.
1-0, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So would we like how do we go into those games? What do we do? How do we play them? Do we sit back? Or do we try and play our game?
No, it's a good question. It's valid question because it's I don't know, because if we do lose those game, people always gonna say, "Hey, we're not ready for Champions League." And the only fear I have is not trusting the time we had from those two friendlies and the beginning of Champions League, because this club is able to sign players just because we have poor friendlies against solid teams. That's the only concern I have. If we do lose both games, it does not mean we probably need more signing. We just need more time for some players to adapt, because the signing you're going to make in August after friendlies, most of them will destroy the structure for me.
Yeah. I agree. I think we have this phrase in Greek, which is this word, which is arguably the longest word you're ever going to hear, Martial. And even if you were to be fluent in Greek, you probably still wouldn't be able to say it. It is katastrophologia, and it means to turn everything into a catastrophe.
Yeah.
And my concern, just like what you just said, is if we lose these games against Napoli and Inter, and especially if we're not at our best, what would happen? How would the fans react? How would the people react? Do you know what I mean? How would the team react? Because it's not, I don't think the answer is going to be signings. The answer is going to be trust the process, give him more time, trust in what Mendilibar is doing, maybe tweak some things tactically. Yes, of course. But it's not going to be like, oh, go and sign the biggest free agent you can find, who is
No,
well
no,
past it and is coming in to take all our money. Do you know what I mean?
you're right. And but the opposite is valid too, because if we do win those two games, it does not mean everything's perfect or that we're gonna win the Champions League.
I'd rather, personally, what would be best is if we lost those games 2-1. Or if we drew 2-2. Something like that. Because obviously I don't want us to lose 5-0, because that's going to be crazy, or 3-0, because everything's going to be falling apart. People are going to be like, oh my God, the world's ending. However, I equally don't want us to win, because you know what Olympiacos fans are like. You know what Greek people are like, even though you might not be Greek yourself, but you know what this club is like and what these people are like. That if we win both the games, that's it. We're the best team ever. Give us anyone. The minute the draw happens, we're gonna be drawn against some shittier teams, not shittier, worse teams than us. The Champions are gonna be like, oh yeah, that's an easy win. That's an easy win. And you see what happens, and we get dicked by Nantes in the Europa League twice, and Freiburg 5-0, and some of the games that we've had, and last year the 0-0s against Rangers and Twente, and games that we really should have won, that we went in there as the favorites. So I don't want us to win. I want us to have a really competitive game and take things out of there and go, yes, this was really useful. We did that well. We didn't do that well. And then come out of it and go, here's the grand total. That's my opinion on what I'm hoping for next week. Not next week, in 2 weeks' time. Yeah. And I'm also very excited because this is the first time I'm ever going to see Olympiacos play against Napoli. And my girlfriend and her family are Napoli fans, like they're Neapolitans. So it's never happened that we've ever played each other. We've been together like 7 years and this has never happened. So I'm excited to see this. Very excited to see a game where Olympiacos take face up against Napoli. I'd like to have them in the Champions League as well. That would be fun. Have an away day at the Sao Paulo, well, the Maradona Stadium now. Great stadium and great fans. So that would be exciting. Right, we're coming up to the hour mark. I think we've covered pretty much everything, unless I'm missing something, Martial. I was just going to go through some of the comments just to make sure that people have some of their questions answered, because there's been quite a few that we've missed. So quickly. Someone asked something that I was like, oh, Martial knows the answer to this. Here. Socrates asks, what is your take on Strefezza? He looked a bit off tune with the team. Martial answered this earlier on in the show, but I'm going to give him a 1-minute segment to do a TLDR, a brief breakdown again of his opinion on Strefezza. For anyone who missed the start, hit us. How did you see our new signing?
Honestly, we've talked about it on the Patreon group, saying like it was terrible. That it reminded us of players like Andreas Tatos or Yatabare, because we love to joke about signings like that have shitty preseason games, because Olympiacos is known for that. You know what I mean? Like featuring the most random players during friendlies. But that being said, I think Strefezza was a little bit disappointing for me, but at the same time, he gave some solid answers when it comes to pressing, to defending, to fitting the team's plan, and I think it's gonna get better with time. Of course, it's obvious saying that, but I would rather have a player that defends good and presses during his first game without producing anything interesting offensively than the opposite.
Do you think he's going to play the the Arab team on Friday, or do you think he's going to play against Union Berlin on the Saturday? Because Union's obviously the tougher game of the two.
It's difficult. I would say he's gonna feature against Saudi team and maybe against Italian teams. Not playing against Union Berlin, I would say, but a solid games against Saudis, and then some cameos against Italian to have him fully ready for the beginning of the season.
Fingers crossed. Now, another question, something that we touched upon earlier. Paschalakis is in goal for the first Champions League. Nicolas asks for the first Champions League game. Yes, Martial brought that up earlier, and it completely skipped my mind. Zolakis got a red card in the second leg game against Bodo, the one we won 2-1 at Karaiskakis. The striker was through on goal, and Zolakis took him out outside of the box to basically stop a 1-on-1, really, and stop a goal-scoring opportunity because we were 2-1 up in the game. Zolakis took him out, and that sort of that meant that we guaranteed the win and we guaranteed the automatic qualification to the Champions League. So yeah, Paschalakis will be in goal for the first game. Another question by Nicolas here is, will Cabela be out for the first game because of the red card in the friendly? No. Really?
No,
they shouldn't affect him, right?
He will be out.
What? The red cards in the friendlies don't affect?
No, yeah, it does.
You're kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. It's going to be out against Asteras.
No, Martial, you're lying.
No, I'm not lying. It has been reported.
But it's a friendly.
Yeah, it's a friendly, but I don't know exactly why. I don't recall the reason exactly, but yeah, the referee. I don't. There is some kind of reason I don't recall, but yeah, he's going to be out for the game.
This has actually blown my mind. What the fuck? This is. I'm sorry. I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked. You can get a red card in a friendly, and that affects the league. In what universe is this normal? No, okay, that's crazy. That's crazy. Unbelievable. Okay. Moving on. What Addis is asking, what is Gelson's contract situation? I don't know off the top of my head. Do you, Martial?
I've been checking on the on the transfer market page of Gelson, and he's out of contract next June. So
he's entering the final year of his contract.
yes, and I guess I don't know. I was asking myself, like, do you need to renew Gelson? Yeah, the answer is probably yes. But yeah, you need to renew the guy before the season. The situation we need to avoid at all costs is the one of Fortunis.
Yeah.
Like when you have a offensive player that somehow performs, you need to renew. It's almost a no-brainer, and it doesn't mean you're gonna keep the player, but yeah, I don't want to overpay someone like Gelson at the end of it.
No, I completely agree. It's especially an offensive player that you rely on so much throughout the season, just like we did with Fortunis and Podense. I know obviously Podense was not a contract, it was a loan, but um, players that you rely on so much during the season, you can't afford to lose on a free.
Oh.
It's criminal. It's absolutely criminal. Unless they've said, look, I'm not signing a new contract, I want to move. Unless they've said that and it's absolutely clear, then you can't afford to make a mistake like that, in my opinion. But hey ho, let's see what happens. Okay, and with that, I think it's time to say goodnight. We've been here for over an hour, guys. Just one final shout to please like, subscribe, follow us on social media. We hit 17K today on Instagram, which is absolutely mad. Genuinely crazy. Like I joined 2 years ago and we were what? I don't even remember, like 5K?
Yeah.
And the jump that we've had in the last year or so has been incredible. Like we appreciate your support so much. So if this is your first time watching a show, or this is your first time coming into contact with 307 International, please take a minute, like this video, like the show, subscribe if you haven't on YouTube, follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, anything you can imagine. Surprised we don't have MySpace. But yeah, please, we appreciate your support, and if you can, please support us on Patreon. There's packages from as little as $1. We really appreciate any and all support that we get, and all of the funds that we get go straight back into the 307 International. This is a show by the fans for the fans. We absolutely love doing this, and we love your company, and we love Olympiacos, and we literally live by Olympiacos Panapola, Olympiacos above everything. This is just such a joy for us. So any support that you guys can give us is very appreciated. Hopefully we'll have a Greek show on Wednesday. Apologies for not having one last Wednesday, but hopefully everything should be back in motion this Wednesday. And for our English speakers, there'll be another one on hopefully next Sunday. However, if you don't speak Greek but want to check us out on Wednesday, by all means, please join in, and vice versa for next Sunday. If you don't speak English but want to join in, please feel free, and vice versa. And yeah, that's it from me. I'll let Martial say his goodnight as well. But thank you very much for joining us. Martial, I'll pass it over to you as the final bonne nuit of the night.
No, the last thing I would say is one thing I truly appreciated today and needs to be said is the passing ability of Tsolakis. He almost created two goals. One was a magic pass to Costinha, and the other one, I think it was to Costinha again. And the quality of Tsolakis for me is a blessing gift. I don't know how I can say something different, because if you go back in time, I think it's Tsolakis for me shows that the biggest legacy of a coach, the biggest legacy of a coach is not only trophies, because Olympiacos has plenty of trophies. Like, do you truly care about one Greek league more? Personally, I don't really care about that. But when you look back at Martin's stint with Olympiacos. For me, one of the biggest legacy, if not the best, is the way he handled Tsolakis. Because we knew that since the guy was like 15, 16, that he was going to be a very promising goalkeeper. And Martins played the guy. He played the guy in PAOK, in the Cup, having cameos in the league to have titles. And know that nowadays, with Mendilibar's decision to start Tsolakis over Paschalakis, I'm confident saying that we have one of the best goalkeeper in the world. The guy is very complete on every area, but I would not trade. Then when you look at other teams in Europe, how many teams have a keeper like that? And he was free after the Conference League. We renewed the guy after the Conference League. I will never understand why bigger clubs did not sign him. We're so lucky to have him again, not because he does not love Olympiacos, but the level of the guy after Conference League was already ridiculous. And nowadays, and I say that because I do watch a lot of football. Like I'm an OM fan, for example. We have been struggling to find a decent goalkeeper on a cheap for years, and you have no one knew Tsolakis last season. Let's be honest. If you talk football with someone that is not an Olympiacos fan, he probably doesn't know Tsolakis. But that being said, I just wanted to say that before ending the show because
great way to end the show.
No, it's the guy is just so good and still so young at the same time. He's young and old at the same time, and I truly hope. And when also there's something is very important that he's a super smart guy. He's probably not going to leave Olympiacos for a club of the same size. This is what I wanted to say.
Do you want to say good night?
Yeah, good. Bonne nuit. Good night to everyone.
Good night, guys. Thanks for joining and catch you soon. Have a good one.